Is it me, or does it seem like this week Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County?
Saying that they have filed a lawsuit over voter suppression in Pennsylvania. The press release states that ballot, all voters have a right to stay in line, claiming that Bucks County, Pennsylvania has been turning away voters. Now,
Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when, Hugh, many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't come back, Jonathan. I'm done. I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about the Washington Post completely imploding because a bunch of folks have walked off of their job. Okay, a bunch of primarily woke leftists have walked off of their job at the Washington Post because the owner, Jeff Bezos, decided he did not want to endorse a failing presidential candidate, which is Kamala Harris. Okay, they previously endorsed basically every Democrat since well before I was even of age to vote, and never any Republicans ever. But now they're still not endorsing Donald Trump, but they're also not endorsing Kamala Harris. And a bunch of woke leftists feel like this is some sort of dereliction of duty or something to not support the left. Okay, not support the Democrats. These people are demonstrating what a true cult looks like. Because imagine if your job doesn't support something that you support, not going against what you support, but not explicitly supporting what you support. And because of that, you just decide to walk. That sounds stupid as hell. But that aside, we have this based reporter, okay, Hugh Hewitt. Now, this guy happens to be a conservative for the Washington Post. Yes, I'm surprised that they have any as well. But yes, they do exist. Or should I say they did exist, because after today, this guy literally just walked off because he was tired of his woke leftist co-hosts that were remaining. They had a woke leftist stronghold at the Washington Post. Okay, some of the pawns have left, but some of the critical pieces, such as the rooks and the knights and so forth, decided to remain on the board. And Hugh Hewitt, a conservative, couldn't take their propaganda and their lies anymore. Take a look.
Is it me, or does it seem like this week Donald Trump is laying the groundwork for contesting the election by complaining that cheating was taking place in Pennsylvania by suing Bucks County for alleged irregularities? And this is on top of his continual assertion that if he loses, it's because of cheating.
Yeah, that's what he's been laying the groundwork for this, just not in the last week, but in the last umpty-ump months. No election can be fair in Donald Trump's mind, unless Donald Trump wins it. And I think we are going to see him both rev up his supporters to contest elections outside of courtrooms and go to every courtroom he can in America where it's relevant to make whatever arguments he can, no matter how far-fetched. We saw
Jonathan, I've got
out last time, but it didn't work out this time.
Finish, Hugh.
It may not work. That may not happen this time. And now I'll let you go, Hugh.
Well, I've just got to say, we're news people, even though we're at the opinion section. It's got to be reported. Bucks County was reversed by the court and instructed to open up extra days because they violated the law and told people to go home. So that lawsuit was brought by the Republican National Committee, and it was successful. The Supreme Court ruled that Glenn Youngkin was successful. We are news people, even though we have opinions, and we have to report the whole story if we bring up part of the story. So yes, he's upset about Bucks County, but he was right, and he won in court. That's the story.
I'll let you keep going, Jonathan.
No, I don't appreciate being lectured about reporting when, Hugh, many times you come here saying lots of things that aren't.
I won't come back, Jonathan. I'm done. I'm done. This is the most unfair election ad I have ever been a part of. You guys are working. That's fine. I'm done.
So, Ruth, you wrote a column this week ending with this line, and actually, I think this is perfect. We're going to put it on the screen. You wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." Talk more about that, Ruth.
Okay, I'm collecting myself.
Oh, Ruth froze. Ruth is frozen. So hang in there, everyone. We're going to see if we can try to get Ruth back to this very.
Dumb? Are you dumb? Are you dumb?
We're gonna get Ruth back in a moment. This is First Look, Washington Post Live's nonstop shop for news and analysis, and Ruth is back. So I'm going to read that quote back again from your column, Ruth, where you wrote, "You want to know the stakes of this election? Not only democracy, but decency." We lost her again.
Now, guys, there's more to this story, such as what Hewitt was referring to. So there's been a lot of foolery going on in Pennsylvania lately, okay? You had cops coming out and blocking people from doing early voting as early as they said 1:30. You had one person get arrested. You had some poll people or poll workers outside telling people to drop mail-in ballots in a box outside. This was totally ridiculous. I know this story hasn't really been seen much outside of X, so I wanted to make sure that you guys are aware that this is going on. Take a look at all this.
It's 2:41 and they are ending the line.
And told people that they couldn't vote. And that was before 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They put a cone down there. This line was full.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a little spying. Looks like people are online still. Let's see what's going on.
There you go. That's it. Hey, that's your job. You keep the peace. That's it. You know. All right. So that's it. That's it. Mail-in. That's on.
No, that's a box of other forms.
That's a box of.
Is that the going on?
I have a question. I have to bring someone here about 4 o'clock to vote. Are they
I'm
gonna?
going to ask you to talk to
Are they
this.
gonna turn everyone down?
I'm going to ask you to talk to this gentleman because the voting is closed right now.
It's closed.
I just want you to talk to this gentleman.
We have the right to vote until 4:30.
I get you. Here's
Why
what
is it
happened.
closed?
Let me explain it to you.
Please.
Okay. This process is very slow and grueling.
That doesn't matter if we're
Very
online.
slow and grueling.
Doesn't matter if we're online by 4:30. We have the right
reason
to
why it
vote.
had to close was because a high volume of people wanted to do this. Slow and grueling.
Well, then they
So
have
they
to
had
wait
to-
till everyone's.
They had to cut the line at 1:45.
They cut the line at 1:45.
1:45.
You hear that, everyone? They cut the line at 1:45.
Here's your.
This is voter fraud, by the way. Who?
No, it's
who are
not.
You? Yes, it is. Oh, voter protection. I heard about that on X. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Contact
Voter protection. Let's see what
contact
that's from.
the county commissioners to complain.
This is, and so you don't think this is voter fraud? This is voter fraud. See that, everyone? They cut the line, even though we have till 4:30. Election fraud here in Bucks County. And you have an oath. I mean, don't you care? I mean, like, really? This is ridiculous. They're not accepting anyone else.
Oh, did they cut off for today?
They cut it off because of election fraud. That's why they cut it off.
That's incorrect. It's actually posted online that they can cut it
No,
off.
it's election fraud.
It's not.
It's
but
election
okay.
fraud. What are you voting for the left? It's election fraud. They're open till 4:30. Everyone in line has the right to vote until 4:30.
On election day.
No, this is election day.
I got it videotaped.
This is ridiculous. I just got a video.
Wow. 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 That's crazy. You locked her up? That is insane, man. She is not influencing people. She is not at all.
So bringing it all full circle, you can clearly see that these people are trying to prevent Bucks County, Pennsylvania, from being able to swing the vote in favor of Trump. Now, Trump had to sue to extend the voting to Friday because it was supposed to cut off on Thursday, and he ended up winning that lawsuit. And the reason this is crucial and why it's great that all these videos are out there and it's great that Elon Musk owns X now is because last election, they were suppressing stuff like this. They were trying to say that voter suppression for Republicans wasn't real. They were trying to say that voter fraud wasn't real. They tried to say that a rigged election was not real. But as you can see, they're completely wrong because this is something where my whole life, I've actually never seen this happen. I know that sometimes polling places might shut down for other reasons, right? Like the machines stop working and stuff like that. But in this case, I've never seen it where it's like days in a row. They're talking about there's low staff at the location, like 1 or 2 poll workers at a giant location. How the hell does that happen? Like the polling location I went to here in Georgia, this wasn't even a major polling spot. And it was like a dozen different people there that I saw. Bucks County, for those who don't know, actually had the Republicans outnumber, the amount of registered Republicans outnumber the amount of registered Democrats, which is likely the reason why a bunch of Democrats don't mind if this place has all of these polling issues and the polls shut down early and all this insane stuff. These are the same people. Like, for example, Stacey Abrams literally tried to sue in Georgia numerous times for the same type of thing allegedly occurring, even though it happened in much smaller number compared to what's happening in Bucks County.
Well, I think it's great. I mean, you heard in Georgia, record being broken there time after time. We've seen this in a lot of states. This early vote total is incredibly high. And we're very pleased from the RNC and Trump campaign that people have gotten the message to go vote early. That's what we've been asking people to do. But look, I think you heard from the reporter there, you cannot cut off the line at 2:30 in the afternoon. We had numerous reports of these things happening, Martha. And so we took it upon ourselves at the RNC to say, hey, this is wrong. We pushed back on it. We filed the lawsuit, and we're really happy to see that they have extended this now 3 days up until Friday. Because, look, if you're not allowing people to go vote who are there standing in line, you really are disenfranchising people. You are in some ways suppressing their ability to vote. We even had a volunteer who was out at a voting location telling people, stay in line, do not get out of line. She was arrested because she was telling people to stay in line. And so we felt very strongly that this was really important to ensure that people had an opportunity to vote early in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So when it happens in a primarily conservative county, all of a sudden the Democrats don't seem to care about it as much. And they're just whining and calling election interference early and setting the stage for another insurrection, all of this ridiculous stuff. But when it happens to Democrats, then it's racism and white supremacy and voter suppression. You're starting to see a pattern here, guys.
Yo, couch, nigga, fuck your couch. Yo, couch, nigga, fuck your couch.
Shout out to Hugh Hewitt for standing on business, because this was just stupid to try to sit up here and poke at and make fun of Trump for something that is clearly, as you guys all saw, caught on camera, and they even did news stories about it saying, hey, there's trouble in paradise over in Bucks County. It looks like some foolishness, some hooliganry is going on. It's been proven, and the only thing that sucks is that now you have one less conservative at the Washington Post, but it seems to me like that place is basically taken over by woke leftists. You might have had a bunch of pawns leave, but you still got a freaking woke stronghold there. And with Hugh Hewitt leaving, apparently a guy who's been a reporter there for a number of years, it's unfortunately going to remain a leftist stronghold for days to come. That's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
They are seeing us breaking early vote records across Pennsylvania. They are terrified and they want to stop our momentum. We are not going to let them suppress our votes. We are going to fight. All we ask of you is to stay in line. Donald Trump needs your votes. We are going to swamp the vote, and we are not going to let the Democrats stop us.